Have you ever picked up a spaghetti spoon, noticed the large hole in the middle, and wondered why it's there? Most people assume it's just for draining water or making the spoon lighter. But what if that simple hole was actually designed with another purpose in mind, one that could help you cook the perfect amount of pasta? And if that's true, why do so many people never hear about it? Today, we will uncover the surprising story behind one of the most overlooked kitchen design features, and find out what that mysterious hole really measures right here on History of Simple Things. The spaghetti spoon, sometimes called a pasta server, is a fairly modern kitchen tool. Before it became common, people simply used forks, ladles, or tongs to scoop cooked pasta from boiling water. As pasta became popular outside Italy during the 20th century, kitchen manufacturers began creating utensils designed specifically for long noodles like spaghetti, linguine, and fettuccine. These spoons usually featured long handles, curved bowls, and teeth around the edges that made it easier to grab slippery strands. But somewhere along the way, another feature quietly appeared in many designs: a hole in the center. At first glance, the hole seems easy to explain. When lifting pasta out of boiling water, the opening lets water drain away quickly while keeping the noodles inside the spoon. That alone makes serving cleaner and easier. In fact, this drainage function is the one purpose that every spaghetti spoon shares. Whether it's made of stainless steel, wood, or heat-resistant plastic, the hole helps separate the pasta from the cooking water in just a few seconds. But over the years, another explanation became incredibly popular. According to countless cooking tips, the hole can also be used to measure one serving of dry spaghetti. The idea is simple. Before cooking, gather enough dry spaghetti to fit snugly through the opening. That bundle is said to equal one serving for one person. It sounds clever because it turns an ordinary serving spoon into a built-in measuring tool without adding any extra parts. There's actually some truth behind this idea, but it's a little more complicated than many people realize. Some manufacturers intentionally size the hole so that it roughly matches a standard single serving of dry spaghetti, usually around 56 to 85 grams depending on regional serving guidelines. In countries like the United States, a common serving is about 2 ounces, or 56 grams, while other recommendations can be larger. If your spoon was designed with measuring in mind, the hole often gives a surprisingly close estimate. However, there was never a universal standard that required every spaghetti spoon to have the same hole size. Different companies make spoons with different dimensions, and not all of them are intended to measure portions. Some holes are larger, some are smaller, and others are shaped more for draining than measuring. That's why one spoon might measure a reasonable serving, while another could give you enough pasta for 2 people, or leave you still hungry. The popularity of the measuring explanation probably grew because it spread through cookbooks, television cooking shows, and eventually the internet. It became one of those fascinating, hidden design secrets that people loved sharing. After all, discovering that a familiar kitchen tool had a purpose you never noticed makes for a memorable story. Even today, millions of people learn about the spaghetti spoon hole through social media videos rather than from the instruction manual that came with the utensil. Interestingly, professional chefs don't usually rely on the spoon's hole when cooking. In restaurants, pasta is often measured by weight using kitchen scales to ensure every customer receives a consistent portion. Home cooks, on the other hand, rarely weigh dry spaghetti every time they make dinner. That's where the spoon's measuring trick becomes practical. Even if it isn't perfectly accurate, it offers a quick visual estimate that works well enough for everyday meals. The whole also reflects a broader philosophy in kitchen design. Many cooking tools quietly perform more than one job. A box grater catches cheese inside its body. The small hole in a saucepan handle can hold a stirring spoon. Some measuring cups include extra markings that many people never notice. Designers often look for ways to make everyday objects more useful without making them more complicated. The spaghetti spoon's center hole fits perfectly into that tradition by combining drainage with, in some cases, portion control. Of course, serving size itself isn't an exact science. The right amount of spaghetti depends on who's eating, what sauce you're serving, and whether pasta is the main course or a side dish. Someone enjoying a light lunch may need far less than an athlete after a long workout. That's another reason no single hole size can work perfectly for everyone. Instead, it provides a convenient starting point rather than an absolute rule. Today, spaghetti spoons come in countless styles, from inexpensive plastic utensils to beautifully crafted stainless steel kitchen tools. Some manufacturers even advertise the hole specifically as a pasta measuring guide, while others simply describe it as a drainage feature. Both explanations can be correct depending on the design, and that's part of what makes this simple utensil so clever. The next time you're preparing spaghetti, take another look at that humble spoon before tossing in the noodles. That hole in the middle isn't just empty space. It helps drain away hot water with every scoop, and on many spoons, it also provides a surprisingly handy way to estimate a serving of dry pasta. It's a small reminder that some of the smartest designs are hidden in the everyday objects we rarely think about, quietly making life a little easier. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.